Why does manifesting work for some people, but for you, nothing? It's so frustrating, right? Well, there could be several reasons, but one of the main reasons why the manifesting doesn't work is because as we're taking the steps, like as we're doing the thing, we're doubting the steps, or we're doubting ourselves as we're in the steps. I want to explain further to you, but first let's talk about the 4 phases of manifesting, and then we'll specifically talk about where things can go wrong. So the first phase or stage, whatever you want to call it, is dream and getting clear, which most of us are good at, right? Maybe you've been creating, because manifesting is really, it's really kind of tapping into our creation power. I point here because the sacral energy, which is right above our womb, like that is our creation power. So it's our ability to like see that we are creating our lives, right? That everything in our life has been some sort of creation or reflection of what's within us. And manifesting is really the intentional use of that very innate power that we all have. And at some point, you maybe look around at your life and you're like, shit, you know, I don't want any of this, or how did I create this? Or maybe you look at somebody else's life and you're like, oh, I really want what they have. And you start to think about how can I be an intentional creator? And that's really the first phase. You start to dream and get clear on what it is that you really want. Sometimes getting clear means that you got clear on what you didn't want, you know, like you've created a life and you're like, oh my gosh, I created all this stuff and I don't want this stuff. Actually, what I want is this. And that's like a hard thing to see, but the truth is that's where we get our inspiration to create. So we're like these artists and we actually made like a really bad painting. And by seeing that bad painting, it actually inspired us to make a really beautiful painting. So whatever way gets us there, but the first phase really is being very clear, dreaming about what it is, like seeing it, visualizing it, you know, kind of understanding it. That's the first stage. And in that stage, you know, what's helpful is journaling or visualizing, getting excited about it. It's kind of like the easiest part of manifesting because you don't have to do anything. You're just dreaming and thinking and writing and discussing and planning what you would want. So make sure you got that. Make sure you feel clear that like that's the first stage, really. Like I feel okay and I feel clear on what it is that I want, and I'm gonna put my energy into what I want, not what I don't want. Because again, sometimes we get inspired by what we don't want, but the more focus we put on it, the more like kind of misguided our focus of creation can become. Phase 2 in my way of manifesting, which is a very intuitive way of manifesting, is really this place of like, okay, this is what I want. Like, you know, I'm excited about this thing that I want, right? But now I know that I need to receive guidance. Like a lot of people get really weird about manifesting because they think that manifesting is putting an idea out there and like waiting for it to show up. And while that can happen for sure, for those of us who like to take action and who are natural action takers, right? Like natural kind of, you know, we make things happen. Manifesting can feel uncomfortable if we're told like, oh yeah, well you manifest, but you got to put your arms behind your back and you can't touch anything, you can't do anything. And it's not that we don't want you to do anything or not act on it. It's that we want the steps to be intuitive steps. We want them to be guided steps. We want to receive the guidance and then act based on our specific calling, right? So let's say you're trying to manifest money through a business and you have 5 friends who have a very similar business, and all 5 of them are making money doing this like one thing. But for whatever reason, and you're like, okay, well, I guess to manifest money, I got to do that one thing that they're all doing. But maybe there's a part of you that does not feel right for you. You can go and take those steps and it will like totally bomb for you because that is not your truth. So if you were just saying, oh, to manifest, I have to take action, but you're taking action without checking in with yourself, or you're taking action without being intuitive, without feeling what feels right, what feels wrong, then you might as well not take the action because it's probably not going to lead you to what your heart is really calling for. Manifesting should be an act of the heart, right? Like I have a desire, I know I'm a creator, and I'm going to intentionally create my desire. Nowhere in that plan is there like a list of like must do's. If they're not in alignment with your heart, then it's not for you. Is there action for you? Yes. Is there like some sort of steps that you need to take? Yes. But you need to receive the steps, and you got to get out of your own way, get past your mind what you think the steps are, and actually receive what the steps are. Receiving, is kind of, it's an intuitive process. So you can do a few things. You can sit down in meditation with a journal, and you can, whatever you connect with, if it's God or your higher self or spirit guides or a past loved one, like an ancestor, I really want this thing. Please show me the steps. And maybe you start writing out like what you're being called to, like what the steps are feeling like, what feels like the right way to go. So of course you take some time to receive that, and then the next step of course is to follow it. So, and it may not be this like very long strategy. I really find that when we're manifesting those intuitive steps, we should check in with them every day. Like it shouldn't feel like, oh, I got one tip and I'm gonna ride that tip for the next 6 months until the thing that I wanna manifest comes. To me, it's really, I wake up every day and I say, okay, thank you for that tip. I've been working on it, I've been doing it. Like, what is the next thing you would have me do? And really take that guidance and follow it and make moves into it. So when I do readings, sometimes I'll get clients that want to come back after 3 months of their reading, and they haven't put any of like the initial guidance that they received from their guides that are with them. They didn't put any of it to play. So when they come back for another reading, guess what? They're gonna get the same guidance. So we really want to take that guidance as very sacred and do a lot of like trust, and just be like, okay, like I'm not sure how this is going to work out, but I trust that this is the next step. I don't even know what happens after that next step, but I'm trusting, I feel called to doing this first. And once I do this, I'll check in again regularly to see what's the next step after this. So it's like I'm constantly going back to get that information of that guidance, but also following at the same time. The next phase is actually believing in your inspired action. And this, I believe, is like where we get it wrong. I believe that this is probably why manifesting is not working for you, because you might be good at getting clear, like, okay, this is what I want. You might be good at understanding, okay, like there's some things that I need to do to get that thing. I want to have a relationship, so I know that I have to date and all that kind of stuff. But then that third phase is about taking the step, but believing in the step during it. So this can be a little tricky, because first you have to make sure that the step is an intuitive step, that it is like a step that feels very unique and like specific to you. And then once you do it, watch yourself to see how are you feeling while you do it. So example would be, I really want a partnership. I know I need to like go out and meet friends. I'm like really feeling called to get to be social. And as I am making moves to be more social and have more social activities, in the back of my head, I'm thinking that this is not gonna work. In the back of my head, I'm reaching out to an old friend and being like, oh my gosh, she must think I'm so ridiculous to be reaching out to her. Or I'm saying yes to a friend's party and I know everybody at that party, there's no way I'm gonna meet somebody. So you are taking the steps, but at the same time, you're taking the steps only to prove yourself wrong. And that is like that's a misalignment. We have to get aligned with the step. Like we have to do the step and find a way for it to feel right. It may not be the right step. If you can't get behind it, then it's okay to be like, okay, I've tried my best to get behind this. I'm like released my ego here and I still can't get behind this step. So is there another step for me? Can I not do this step and do something else? So dating, again, I've tried to get behind online dating. Let's say like, I tried to be like, yes, I'm gonna do it, whatever, but every time I do it, it just does not feel right for me. It's not that I'm judging, it's not that I'm scared, it just doesn't feel right for me. Then I move and I ask for another step, and I move into another step. And remember, a new step may feel uncomfortable because it's something new that you're doing, and what you're manifesting might be something that like you've been trying to manifest for years that you have blocks around. So when you get that step and you're deciding to follow it, do your best to be like, okay, how can I feel good about this? How can I think about this differently? Do I need new mantras? How can I believe in myself? So the example of, I'm trying to be more social, I'm reaching out to people to see if I can get like invites and do things with people. When I see myself doing that, I'm gonna catch myself and be like, yes, I know it's scary to like put yourself out there, but people love to hang out with you. There's so many people out there that wanna like be in community, and you're gonna find the love of your life. So let's do this, let's have fun, let's enjoy it, right? So you're being that like inner voice that really supports the step. So as you do the step, you're really believing in the step. You feel aligned with the step. And if there is no way to get aligned with the step, then that step is not for you. And you need to find another way to create movement towards your manifesting. And then the fourth stage or phase is about collecting proof that what you're doing is working, right? So this is another tricky part about manifesting, that we don't know how long it's gonna take. Is your manifesting gonna take 1 month, or is it gonna take 1 year? Nobody knows, right? So it's very easy to do the first 3 phases, get clear, receive guidance, take action, feel good about the action, but then it's like, okay, I'm waiting. Like I feel like I'm doing all the things, but nothing has happened yet. So in this phase, in order to keep ourselves busy and to keep ourselves like high vibes and in alignment, we want to track proof. So for example, maybe using that dating example again, I told myself that my action was to be more social, to kind of find social activities, whatever, to reach out to people. And yes, I've been doing that, which is great. People have been saying yes, so I pat myself on the back for that. This is working. And when I've gone to these events, I haven't met like the love of my life yet, but I have met new people. I met a new friend. I had this really great conversation. Things are opening up for me. Things are working for me. So that is me tracking my proof. Like I need to be able to prove to myself, not to anybody else, that this is working, because that's what keeps my mind, my creation power focused on like, this is happening, so excited about it, I believe in it. So you need to find your little signs, and sometimes it might be just like asking for signs. And you need to take a moment to congratulate yourself on the small steps within this big manifesting step, because you might be manifesting, $0 to $1,000, and there's like a whole road between zero, where you are, $0 to $1,000, and you need to celebrate the first $10. You need to celebrate the first $100. That's your proof that you're getting to $1,000 in your manifestation. When you're house hunting because you're trying to find like the house of your dreams, maybe you haven't found anything yet, but you're feeling like, I found the neighborhood. I found the type of house that I want. I found the right realtor that I really trust. Like all of those are little celebrations within the big manifestation. If we're only looking for the manifestation to prove that this is working, we're gonna get really lost on that path. So we want to be able to give ourselves little encouragements and take a minute to be like, celebrate that accomplishment, to be able to prove it's like running a marathon and stopping for water, right? Like the water is you celebrating the little win, and that's what makes you know, like, I can do this, I can get there, I'm getting there, it's working. And that's how manifesting works. If you found this helpful, I would love it if you would subscribe, share with a friend, send me a comment, all the things, because in my manifestation, I need to know that it's working. And by you letting me know it's working, it helps me continue with my own manifestation. So thank you. Let me know how that went for you, and I cannot wait to see you next time.